serious? How many people have died from your high school class so far? How did they die? 1. Kid jumped off a bridge with a few other friends to pass time in quarantine. It shouldn't have killed him, but the rapids took him. Didn't know him well, but he was one of the popular kids and it was all over the local news. Pretty crazy. A lot. 5 heroin overdoses that I know of. 3 car accidents and 3 suicides. I'm the last remaining person in my graduating class. The rest passed away from various causes, mostly old age. Class of '05, 2 have died. 1 was OD and the other was cancer. This one guy from my class graduated HS 3 years ago. Recently got pulled over, ran out of his car into a forest, let the police pursue him, and then snuck back and got into the cop car and drove away. He got caught and apparently he was on drugs after he got sentenced. He had just turned 18 at this point. He ended up ending his own life. It's so sad because I knew the guy before his life spiraled downhill. Such a tragic ending for him, and it's sad to even think about. I graduated in 2009. 1 kid died my senior year of a heroin overdose, which came as a complete surprise to everyone. To my knowledge, no one else in my graduating class of approximately 200 has passed in the years since. But I don't keep up with most of them. We only graduated this May, and some guy in our class died from a car crash. Was on the local news. 1. She had a stroke while we were at school. 2 suicides, 1 car crash, 1 brain aneurysm, 1 seizure, and 1 anorexia. In 5th grade, someone died by gunshot from a guy who didn't like the dad apparently during spring break. Now about a week ago, a cheerleader in our rival high school died. I don't know how. And then, 2 weeks ago, someone in my school went missing. I graduated in 2009. A few died before we even graduated. Car accident, cancer, cliff jumping accident. A couple others have died since graduating. Those few were mostly from drug addictions. I don't know the exact number, but at least 4 or 5 people from my class have died. And my graduating class was only a little over 100 people to begin with. Someone from my primary school died. He was disabled, don't know what he had, and he broke his neck. He was a nice kid. We were close friends for a few years. I moved school and then I found out that he died. Rest in peace, Henry. About 3 have died. 1 died from disease he had. The second committed suicide. I can't remember who was the third. I graduated 4 years ago and so far I've only heard of 1 girl dying. Apparently it was a car wreck. Graduated 11 years ago and know of 1 person. Maybe more, but that's all I know of. My class was about 350 kids. We had 4 students die within a couple months' time in my senior year. 2 by stabbing, 2 from reckless driving. This was like 20 years ago. 2 that I know of. 1 developed a brain tumor and 1 committed suicide. I'm only 9 years out of high school too. It's strange to see schoolmates start dying so young. It's awful. Only 1 that I know of. He died of cancer like 5 years after we graduated. It's been 10 years since graduation and there were 600 in my class. So I'm sure there have been others. I had a few friends in my grade at the rival school who died too. 1 was suicide like a year after graduation. The other was COVID in May. In the 2 years that I went to my high school, 4 kids died. 3 were suicide I believe, and 1 girl in my grade was murdered. Walking home on a Sunday afternoon and someone slammed her head into the concrete. She suffered for hours before dying. I never spoke to her, but I think about her a lot. I graduated from the class of 2018, but this happened in 2015. Ninth grade. So like the week before spring break. Like that weekend, my friend was shot in the head by his mom. On accident. Trying to break up a fight between his sister and some guy. Lots of people were upset. He was the only person that I know of. One for sure killed in a motorcycle crash a year after graduation. Scuttlebutt has it. Two more committed suicide. They could be still alive, but nobody I know is certain. That's it. Graduated in 81 in a class of 120. The year after us lost 3 before they even graduated. Only one, but our class was only 30 people. Suicide shortly after graduating. I know 3 died while I was still in high school. One was in a car accident. One had a heart attack and the other killed himself. I don't know of any who died after graduation though. One that I know of. It was while we were at school. Her father killed her. It was horrific. I graduated in 06 and I don't know of any others. One person in my class committed suicide senior year. As far as I know, everyone else is still alive. Quite a few, and several people I was actually close to. One friend overdosed after graduation. Another died senior year in a car accident. Another friend got breast cancer. Another super close friend went into sudden cardiac arrest. I'm 33. A couple died in school. A car wreck and a cancer case. So far, post-graduation, one I know for certain passed as a result of suicide. I was never super close with him, but many of my friends were close friends with him. Made local news. Devastated a lot of people. He was a wonderful soul. Big into music and theater and highly talented. I never knew the details of what drove him to take his life. 5 people died. 2 from a car crash, 1 from a heart attack, and 2 others were kept a secret. Don't know why. One guy that I know of was fixing a tire for his girlfriend and the car fell off the jack over his head. 8 from gun violence. Knew 'em all. One was my best friend and another was my roommate. Miss her every so often. Another was a passenger in a drunk driving incident. That messed a lot of us up. He was good peoples. I grew up in a place some call the ghetto.